So we're in the business of killing babies now, are we? What are you talking about this time, Mr. Bike Farmer? Well, here you've got a baby killer and I got a repair tag on it, and you expect me to participate in the killing of babies? I say no to killing babies. I don't think anybody should be out there killing babies. Yet, they're still making them. And if you can't tell, I'm not into it. Yeah, you think about it, you put a baby in here, and then you've got 20, 25 pounds worth of extra weight above the saddle. And then you still have your flimsy little kickstand, which is probably loose, and there's probably no air in the tire. You put your kid in there and you strap them in and everything, you get their helmet on it, and then you just think that the bike's gonna stand up, but it doesn't. It tips over and it becomes the end of a whip, right? Wham! Right on the ground. And I am not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I don't want to be the last professional who touched such a thing. Now, okay, if it was really that big of a deal, they wouldn't be making them, right? I just did a quick Google. These haven't changed a whole lot. The straps have gotten a little bit more padding on them, I think. That's about it. Hardware is a little bit better. I mean, there's some better stuff, but in general, like it was just like a study from California or whatever from the 80s. It was 25% of bicycle related injuries of kids 5 years and younger were passengers on the bikes. That's assuming back then, before they had trailers and stuff, that they were these child seats. It was kind of the only thing that was available. So already, like, that's a pretty high percentage. It's not a matter of if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. Like, I wouldn't put my kid in one. Of those injuries, 65% of them were to the head or face, right? Everything else is pretty well protected. I mean, you might get an arm stuck or something, but for the most part, it's that head is just gonna go smacking into the ground. Now, how does it happen? 42% of the time the bike tipped over with the kid in it. Most people aren't good bike handlers. They're not aware of the tippiness of kickstands and whatever. 25% was the kid fell out of the seat, okay? The straps are better now, probably happens less, but you know, back then it was just like you're just riding along and bloop, 23% was because the straps and whatever, like, where is there straps on this side? Yeah, so like this one, like I guess you could strap the foot in, but who knows, you know, and then the strap gets caught in the spokes and takes the bike down. So trust me when I say, like, this happens all the time with bike trailers and everything. 90% of parents get the installation wrong. It's just not safe. And that's like the case here, is they got this thing on here, okay, I guess. I mean, it's flimsy, but I think that's just how it is. But there's problems with the brakes, there's problems with the shifter, there's all kinds of other things that could go wrong and cause an accident on this bike. So straps and whatever, like not getting the kid in there right, sounds like that's almost 50%. So 42% just tips over, 50% is you're not doing the straps right, and then 8% is the whole thing just became detached from the bike and fell off. Regardless of whether or not we're actually killing babies here, isn't the point. The point is these things are dangerous. You're far better off with a trailer, right? Those trailers are really stable. If it does come disconnected from the bike, but they don't tip over, they have roll cages. Like, even if the kid isn't strapped in there, you know, as long as you got a helmet on them, they might get banged up, but they're not gonna be concussed. This is like, I think, best case scenario concussion. Anyway, I'm going to take this off, and then the bike needs a tune-up, and it's just gonna be another bike tune-up. But thank God that I intervened. This happens to be a customer that I know personally. So I just messaged her and I was like, hey, don't shoot the messenger here, but I have a hard rule that I don't work on bikes with these things. The only thing I'll do is take it off. I just like to get rid of them. And she's like, oh my goodness, why? And then I told her, she's like, oh, I didn't think of that. And most people don't, you know, and maybe it's just me, but the numbers don't lie either. Just try to stay away from these things. You kick back and relax. Relax if you can. Big scary baby killer project coming up. So I was gonna go get a bag of flour or something and strap it in here and try to tip it over and give the dramatic effect of flour spraying all over the place. But then I was like, no, it's gotta be blood and guts. And then I was like, how do I fill a flour bag full of blood and guts? And then I was like, nah, I'll just demonstrate up against the workbench. But this is my main concern, is like, even without weight, you can see like, it really wants to tip over. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure here. You know, You can just imagine if you have all this weight up here, you know what I mean? It's really easy to tip over. Oh, dropped a hammer. You know, and then the hammer comes flying in, right into the temple. Maybe I am into it. Let's see here. Oh, this tilts. It gets tilty. So there you go. That gets the strap in the spokes a little easier. Yep, that strap could go right into the spokes. That was easy to do. Does it come off? Nope. Yeah, that's my main concern. You can maybe do that with your tires, but nobody's going to do that. Now here's why the bike was in. All right, now before you guys are like, I can't believe they just can't figure it out. Most people aren't mechanical, so stuff like this doesn't make sense in their brains. They don't see it that way. But this brake is completely like inoperable, locked up. Like it's not, there's no brake. Like the wheel is spinning in there, but the brake isn't working anymore. But I don't even know how I'd make that work. You know what I'm saying? Here you can see the anchor bolt is right up against the frame of the baby killer. It's just no rear brake all of a sudden. You know, yeah, let's go for a bike ride. Whee! Die! And then I think they wanted to be able to shift. Okay, well, that seems to be working just fine. So I don't know what the problem is there. It was written on the tag. I can't get that to stop spinning. Yeah, so I think it was just like because the front derailleur cable and everything. I don't know what they were really getting at there. Seems to be functioning fine, but whatever, it's in the way. Anyway, I'm gonna take it off and then we'll do the tune-up. I think I got my point across, did I not? God, this is annoying. It came with keys, you know, so you can unlock it. Basically, so nobody steals your baby, I think. I have no idea. Well, that thing's got to come off somehow. There we go. Okay, so that's way more better, hey? And I'm not saying that if you buy a baby killer and put it on your bike and take your kid for a bike ride and have a good time, that you're a bad parent. I'm just saying, no thank you, I'm good on babysitters right now. Thanks for offering to help. Okay, so then the customer said, does the bike need a tune-up? And I would say need is relative. Could it benefit from a tune-up? Absolutely. Is it time? Probably. Does it need it? No. You put air in the tires, go for a perfectly good bike ride here. But the chain is super dry, which means that all the cables are too. Things are dirty, and it's just been sitting long enough, you know. This happens a lot, that people start having babies and they stop riding bikes for a few years until the kids get old enough to hold their head up, and then they want to start going for bike rides again. And that's what this is. I do this all the time. This is a basic run-of-the-mill bicycle reanimation video from here on out. We're gonna pop the wheels off, we're gonna clean everything, lube everything, make some minor adjustments, and send it out the door. So per the usual, this rear brake that works spectacularly now, well, works good enough for who it's for now. Loosen that, pop the wheel off, set it aside. Same thing here. So I always put one finger back here, one thumb right there, two fingers here, one thumb there. It's that easy. Open the quick release, back it off until the lawyer lip little catch down here allows it. I'm gonna disconnect every cable on this bike. I'm just gonna pull that derailleur in, get that loose. With the derailleur shifted in the lowest gear here, you can pull on your derailleur there. Disconnect your cable like that. Okay, rear brake is loose. Rear derailleur is loose. Front derailleur is loose. Same story, different cable stop. Oh. So the front brake is the only one that's left, right? But it's all kind of one solid piece. So we'll just kind of go in there, and then we're going to use gravity and capillary action. Somebody was like, it's not gravity, it's capillary action. It's both. Jag off. But yeah, you can kind of, a little bit of gravity, you'll suck it down in there, and then you work it, and then the capillary action will just start. I personally feel really dirty about saying baby killer a million times already. So a little Behold furniture polish cleans just about everything, even a filthy conscience. Hey bike farmers, just a quick note while there's a lull in the action. If you've made it this far, I assume you liked the video enough to click the like button. If you really like it, let us know in the comments below. And if you're into bicycle content for regular people, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're able to support more directly, click on the super thanks button and send me some taco money. Or better yet, join the channel as a monthly sustaining member. All of these things will help grow the channel organically and give the Bike Farmer YouTube channel a strong future. Thanks again for watching. Now let's get back to the bikes. All right, everything's pretty clean. So this is what we do, is we clean and then we lubricate and then we adjust. So we're gonna lubricate. That's Luberkait, lubricate. Yeah. So here we go, allowing gravity and capillary action to wick lubrication down the hose. And then down here, get nice and low, guys. Way down, lower. Don't forget to lube your noodle. Know what I'm saying? All right, then we can take all of your pieces of housing and get them back in their happy, happy, happy homes, which can be tricky, remembering which one's which and not crossing the streams. It's a Ghostbusters reference, another Ghostbusters reference. Oh, I see. Everybody's back in their happy homes. Yeah, and I know what you're all thinking. You're all thinking, well, cripes, Bike Farmer. I didn't expect you to be such a die-hard pro-lifer. Wanting to steal all of that choice away from parents. No, parents. You can still choose to put a baby killer on the back of your bike. Drive it right around all over hell if you want. Best of luck to you. You know, I mean, if you don't like your kids, you just might get away with it. You know what I'm saying? It'll look like an accident. But I don't think that's, I don't think it's good that we, make it so parents have to hide. I believe in choice. I'm a pro-choice guy. I just don't think there should be any kind of terms, limits, time limits at all. Like, if my parents decided they've had enough of me, like even today, I think it should be their right, their choice, to terminate my life, take me out of the equation. Choice is choice. Don't talk to me about ethics and morality and that kind of thing. Choice is choice. We gotta have freedom. Total individual liberty. It's my life. Nothing you can say, it's just oppression. If you try to impose laws against my choices in this world. But no, there are laws, and so parents are forced to make it look like an accident. They just want to criminalize us. For-profit prisons, more money for them. Steal our freedom, line their pockets, fill their coffers. That's what's going on here. That's what's really going on here. It's a cabal. Did you know? Deep state. They're all in cahoots. Funding armies with our tax dollars. No. What am I talking about? Early stages of World War III right now. I hope that's not true. I hope it works. I gotta say, as ridiculous as it seems right now, right today, I can kind of see how perhaps maybe, on the surface, ideally, knocking some religiously fanatic regimes down a couple pegs in this world, setting them back a little bit, might send them a wake-up call and make them get real. But if it leads to regime change, I think we're in trouble. I don't know. I'm not a foreign policy expert either. What do I know about ethics or foreign policy? Or I don't know much. I know it doesn't feel good. None of it feels good. And you can't avoid any of it. It's all part of this thing. All right. On a happier note, I am not going to talk through this wheel. It's like they say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But if you think about it now, just think about it a little bit. It's really not so crazy. Parents kind of have a glimpse into the psyche of their children. And a lot of problems could be stopped before they even start. And when the government doesn't know what to do with bad people, just give parents the option. Hey, you want to kind of handle this for the rest of us? You know what I'm saying? It's just an idea. They're just ideas, people. I'm not in a position of power. None of this is going to happen. It doesn't affect you. You don't have to change the way you feel about me. I would never vote for a candidate that supported this, by the way. I don't want any kind of legislation introduced. I'm just saying. I have been introduced to a new comment, a TV show called The Curse. Nathan Fielder? It's an interesting show, but I'm like, what even is this? What do you call this kind of entertainment? And it's wildly uncomfortable to watch. It's not an easy watch, but it's called cringe comedy. And I was like, that's why I like it. I think I kind of do that. I do have a taste for the bizarre. I like thinking outside the box. But a lot of time, I don't like it. I don't think it's practical necessarily. There's a reason we have the laws we do. And things like infanticide are illegal. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. I like ridiculous. Okay, so that is cleaned up. And I tell you what. So this is SRAM 3.0. The SRAM MRX stuff is compatible with Shimano. But the SRAM 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, it's its own thing. It works so good. It really is. It's got a different cable pull, so it doesn't work with everything, but something might be bent. Is it a hanger? Should we check the hanger quick? Yeah, when this stuff is cleaned and lubed, it really just finds gears better and shifts better. The cable pull, I think the haptics, the way it feels and clicks and sounds and everything is better. I really like it, but it's uncommon, so it's harder to find replacement parts. The shifters have to match the derailleur, so it can be problematic. Like, you know, if you were to show me two bikes and one of them had this stuff and one of them just had run-of-the-mill Shimano, I'd say go with the Shimano just because it's easier to service in general. You know, parts are laying in bins all over. You have to get lucky to find 3.0 parts. They're still available. They're still making them and you can get new stuff, but it's good that on most entry-level bikes, the kind of stuff I work on a lot and that I try to sell at my shop, compatibility isn't a huge issue most of the time for me. I think it is in the high-end shops. Yeah, this is risky business. I'm using the derailleur hanger gauge and bending the hanger. I'm relatively confident that I have a replacement in my bins. You know, just a generic Trek hanger from this era. But it was bent. No doubt about it. All right, let's just double check that I got things in order here. Try your very best to never cross thread this one. It's kind of easy to do. Let's see, mega range here. So it jumps from this, like, I don't know, 28 all the way up to 34 or something whack. And then, well, I thought this B adjustment looked like it was out. Kind of is, but turning that in might help things. Okay, it appears that this cable is slightly loose. See that? One click and it doesn't, yeah, it just barely shifts. The barrel adjuster here, we're gonna turn it out a smidge. Actually, let's turn it in. There's the little gap. We'll leave a little bit of gap there. Can you see it? Right there. I was just gonna use the barrel adjuster to tighten this cable, but then the barrel adjuster was already out quite a bit. So we're gonna put the barrel adjuster in, but I left a few turns just in case this is too tight. So you can pinch the derailleur. There you go. Get that locked down tight. All right. We're up. Seems to be shifting down a little bit easier than up, so I'm gonna turn that barrel adjuster out just a smidge. Just tighten that cable. It was like 3/4 turn. And that feels just exactly perfect. Moving on. So this is basically friction, all right? It doesn't go 1, 2. It's a friction system, so as long as it's not overshifting or undershifting, you're good to go. I kind of prefer that for front derailleurs, but you have to know how to operate them, which nobody does, so whatevs. I feel like I already did this but glossed over it, but like, I just don't feel like I can make much of an improvement to that rear brake. It's really good. You know, just a little bit of lubrication before makes that feel better than brand new. Lubing the pivots, and if you wiggle it just a little bit, oh, this brake pad is, oh, dropped a wrench. Brake pad's a little wonky. Get that up there and parallel. This feels a little loose, so we're gonna loosen the anchor bolt, tighten the cable up a little bit. Tighten her back down. Feels like it's pulling a little bit more from this side. I'm gonna back off the tension here. Just a little bit. Half a turn. That's better. Feels real good. This bike seems to have cleaned up pretty good. It appears to be tuned. Oh, dropped a rag. Probably should put some air up in these tires. How much, you ask? Make them firm and go for a bike ride. Otherwise known as approximately 65 pounds per square inch. I have one of those automatic timers on my compressor so it doesn't kick off in the middle of the night. And it's not keeping time very well. It's all willy-nilly, so I ordered some new ones. But I have no idea how much air is in that tank at any given moment now. Don't really care. It's on the other side of the wall. I'm not gonna walk over there and find out. I really don't care, but this gauge tells me. And I got enough air in there. Don't sweat it. Always wiping as we go. You know, just like my grandma used to. You know, because she ate all those prunes and spent all the time on the toilet, sang that little song. We'd hear that cute little voice coming from the bathroom. Wiping as we go, wiping as we go. When you eat like I do, you're wiping as you go. Another bike done. Another Trek hybrid. Thank you so much for watching until the end. That is the stuff. Yes. It's one of the most unexpected great joys of my life is knowing that this stuff is entertaining people all over the world and that you watch till the end. It's great. It's gratifying stuff. But gratitude doesn't pay the bills, folks. I mean, it kind of does in the YouTube world. But I could always use a little bit more. And if you got it and are willing to share a little bit, it's super easy. You just click that super thanks button, the heart with the dollar sign in the middle of it. You can send me 5, 10, 50, 100. 200 is the biggest one I've ever gotten. 200 bucks. That really goes a long way. A lot of times it just buys a lot of tacos, but a long way, a lot of tacos. Who's counting? Or you can join the channel. Monthly sustaining membership. It's a lot like people, you know, go to Patreon. YouTube does it now. But basically what it does, it gets you a little star by your name. I know that you're a monthly supporter. And if you ask me questions in the comments and I see it and I notice the star, which happens, you'll get a reply. Otherwise, I don't always reply. Unless you're super mean to me, and then I reply because I only reply to the mean ones for some reason. Because I have low emotional intelligence and can't help it. I just can't help it. Before yourself, click that notification bell so you and your bikes can stay tuned.